Hello and welcome again to Football Overload, the channel where we analyze football games, look at them from a tactical point of view, look at chances, how they've been created, look at specific pressing situations, building up situations, and I will give you my 2 cents on it because I'm a professional footballer myself, so I will be able to look at them from a different point of view and give you my best advice. In today's video, we will look at Liverpool against Manchester City. Obviously a very interesting game where Liverpool dominated Manchester City in the first half. Normally they should be up by 3 or 4 goals when we look at the chances they had, but at the end they will do the job, finish with 2-0 and go on to be exceptional this season, where Manchester City is really struggling right now, but more on that later. Let's get right into the first situation. When we look at the first Liverpool goal, a lot of players are not in that position they're supposed to be in. This is because they have just had a corner kick, but decided to keep possession of the ball, and so the players often occupy positions they are not used to be in. This is not a problem as long as the structure of the team remains the same. So right now they are building up with 4 players, Szoboszlai as a right back, Gomez and Robertson as centre backs, and Van Dijk coming into the position of a left back. 3 midfielders are in front of them and 3 strikers, are all the way playing against the defensive line of Manchester City. Manchester City, on the other hand, are attacking with 2 strikers, 4 midfield players, and 4 defenders. Pretty usual 4-4-2 structure. Foden is putting pressure on Joe Gomez, forcing him to play to Robertson. Robertson will then be attacked by Haaland. This pass from Gomez to Robertson is a clear pressing signal. This means for the other players to follow the pressing and push up to support the 2 strikers. What this means for the defensive line is to close the gap between the defensive line and the midfielders. So they will have to push up to the midline, or at least close to the midline. As long as there is pressure on the ball, it will be hard for Liverpool to put a controlled ball in the space behind the defense. If there is no pressure on the ball, of course the Man City players have to be careful and ready to sprint back again to defend the space in their backs. Robertson finds Alexander-Arnold in the pocket, and he is then able to turn onto his strong right foot. This is the problem now for Manchester City, because on one hand you can see there is not enough pressure on the ball, and you can see that there is a lot of space between the defense and the midfield, and Manchester City is defending in a pretty high line, but not high enough to put the strikers offside. So what this means right now is that Trent Alexander-Arnold will be able to put a long ball behind the defense of Manchester City into the space where then players like Mo Salah and Luis Diaz are very dangerous. What should City do in this case? They have to decide. Either they put really a lot of of pressure on the ball, and then the defensive line has to push up even more to potentially put their opponents offside, or they decide to drop back into a lower pressing block, into a midfield pressing block, where the spaces between the lines are tight, so they cannot play between the lines and they are ready to defend their back. But right now, they are not doing either of those things. They are kind of pressing, but kind of not pressing. And they are kind of high, but not high enough to put them offside. And so there is a lot of space between the defense, where the strikers then can go and attack the space. A few seconds later, the situation looks like this. Akanji is in a 1-against-1 inside the box against Mo Salah. Luis Diaz is covered by Ruben Diaz, and Walker is defending against Gakpo on the second post. Nunes is close enough to Szoboszlai, but also ready to help Akanji if Mo Salah decides to dribble inside onto his left foot. I like the position from Gündoğan, as he is not only in a better position than his opponent, but also defending the space in front of the defense. I like also the positioning of Ake, who is defending the first post, as there is no other Liverpool player to man mark. Right now, for me, it doesn't look like there is a goal happening anytime soon, because City is doing a really great job defending. But what Salah does next is just exceptional. He will take one step inside onto his left foot, forcing Ake to make a step outside, as he don't want the offside line to be too low. He also recognizes that Cody Gakpo is making a run in Walker's back onto the second post. Salah will then be able to put the cross right between Ake and Ortega, where neither of them can reach the ball, into the run of Cody Gakpo. Kyle Walker fails to block his run or to defend the zone where the ball is getting into. And then Cody Gakpo will be in front of an empty goal and will score the opener. A lot of times, especially in the first half, Manchester City were not able to find a solution against the very good pressing of Liverpool. Now here is a situation again where Manchester City is on the ball, and usually they are always able to find a good position, and with a good passing they are able to find the perfect solution. Luis Diaz is attacking Ruben Diaz, who wants to then go on and play a pass to Bernardo Silva. Szoboszlai is recognizing the situation and is already on his way to put pressure on Bernardo Silva. Now, I expect from Ruben Diaz to see this and decide to play Gündoğan, who can then make use of the space created right here. Also, Ruben Diaz could just play to Walker on his right, who has less pressure than Bernardo Silva. Still, I don't think this pass is not a bad pass, because Bernardo Silva has several options. First, he can then go on and play to Walker. He could maybe turn and go into this space right here to continue attacking. Or he can play back to Akanji, and then they can build up again. Because of Bernardo Silva's very bad pass, Mo Salah is now completely alone, running towards Ortega and Manchester City's goal. There is not a lot you can do right now as a defender because the mistake has been made, and with this little space and Mo Salah on the ball, you will not be able to catch him. What I still like though is the effort from Ruben Diaz to take at least Szoboszlai out of the play. Because if he would give up, then Mo Salah could go on and just play a simple pass to Szoboszlai, who can then go on and score into an empty goal. But with his effort, he can send a signal to Ortega that he can focus only on the 1-against-1 against Salah. Maybe this helps him to get into a better position and prevent Salah from scoring. Nevertheless, Salah, in his form right now, should be able to put Liverpool up 2-0 in this situation. The second Liverpool goal is again a result of a very high intensive pressing from Liverpool and a false decision making and a lack of confidence, not a lack of quality, because we talk about Manchester City, from, in this case, Ruben Diaz and Kyle Walker. Ruben Diaz is pressured by Nunes and Mo Salah, and he can just play a simple pass back to Ortega, and then they can go on and build up the play again. He decides to take the ball outside into the space where Kyle Walker is running into, and maybe he tries to then go on and play or find a better solution by playing forward. In the end, he will lose the ball against Darwin Núñez. But as we will see later, Kyle Walker could still fix the error from Ruben Diaz. Also, what I want to say is you're 1-0 down and there are still 15 minutes left to play. So with 1-0 down, you can easily catch up with Liverpool or even score a second goal and go on and win the game. Even though you played a very bad first half, you can still manage to get a point away at Anfield. But if you make decisions like this, there will not be any success, especially not at Anfield Road. Now, even though Ruben Diaz loses the ball against Darwin Núñez, Manchester City remain in possession of the ball as it gets to Kyle Walker. Kyle Walker then goes on and makes again a false decision. He tries to control the ball into this space. Kyle Walker has two options. Play Akanji, who is completely alone and has no pressure whatsoever, or see that the situation right now to dribble is not the best and just clear the ball, put it on the stance, but don't lose it in this situation. Luis Diaz recovers the ball, makes his run to the Manchester City goal and gets fouled by Ortega inside the penalty area, and the following penalty, of course, will be scored by Mo Salah and put Liverpool 2-0 up, deciding the game. Now that's it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something useful. Let me know if you have different opinions. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys in the next video.